Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Planet 46 News OK Comics Podcast. I'm Matt Price. This is Kyle Roberts. Kyle, what's up this week?
Yeah, we got some Man of Steel news. We're going to talk about the top comic of 2011, and a new stop motion is on the way.
All right, very cool. So, hey, you're doing a new stop motion. Tell us about it.
That's right. I shot another one with my nephews. And it's kind of part two to this Mini-Mate Mayhem deal we've got going on.
All right, so who's in it?
It's Spider-Man and Lizard and some other people.
All right. As we head up to the Spider-Man movie, get a little teaser of a humorous version.
Absolutely.
All right, cool. Also, hey, speaking of movies coming up, Man of Steel is going to be released in 2013, and Richard Schiff, who you might remember from West Wing, has been added to the cast.
Yeah, he's a scientist in it, and this guy's been in a lot of other, from Lois and Clark TV series and other cartoons in Smallville, right?
Yeah. They're saying he's called Dr. Hamilton, who is almost certainly the same guy as Professor Emil Hamilton, who's been in introduced in the comics in 1987, has been in Smallville. A lot of different interpretations of Superman since then.
Sweet. And then Justice League is the number one selling comic.
Yeah,
of 2011.
Of the whole year, over 300,000 copies sold, and DC had 9 of the top 10 selling comic books. The only Marvel one in the top 10 was the death of Ultimate Spider-Man. Ultimate Spider-Man number 160, which came in at number 6. Other than that, you've got Action Comics number 1. You've got Justice League number 3 was actually in at 8. Number 2, Justice League 2 was actually ranked 2. So the top 2 books out. So obviously the relaunch worked pretty good.
Yeah, so if they just do relaunch everything all over again every year, they might keep up with Marvel.
They're going to be doing well.
Just
a little Marvel jab he's getting in at them. All right, so big year for them. Also, Godzilla came in at number 102. That was the top IDW.
All right.
Yeah. Those of you who are maybe Captain America or Wolverine fans probably know about Ron Garney, and there's a new book about Ron Garney that came out from Tomorrow's. This is by George Curry and Eric Nolan Weathington. They do a big interview with him, kind of a career-spanning interview where he talks about his work on Captain America, his work on Hulk, Silver Surfer, Scar, his recent work on Wolverine. Kind of goes over his whole career, his style, some art tricks. Pretty cool history.
Yeah.
And the guy whose art I really like, going back to his 1990s work on Captain America.
Very cool.
With his work on Wolverine, he's done a few different costumes, which kind of leads us to our question of the day.
Yeah, our question of the day is, what is your favorite Wolverine costume? You know, is it maybe, I don't know, the very first Wolverine appearance and when he was in Hulk, which is very similar to the one now with the mask a little bit different, or
the sort of brown and yellow one that was mainstay in the 80s. There's that famous Art Adams poster, or the John Cassidy redesign for Astonishing X-Men, or the black leather from New X-Men, or the black leather from the movie,
black and gray,
or maybe the patch outfit where he's just kind of in, the street clothes and an eye patch. Maybe that's your favorite.
Something like that.
So let us know your favorite Wolverine costume in the comments.
Cool.
And we got more Wolverine as we dig into the review file.
Yep. Let's start with Wolverine number 300.
This is sort of bringing back the higher numbering. They've obviously relaunched Wolverine a few times. They're saying, hey, if we add all these together, you get 300. And we're going to do a story where he's back in Japan, written by Jason Aaron. And you have a mix of different artists, including Ron Garney, Adam Kubert, and Steve Sanders, in which Wolverine travels back to Japan and faces the Yakuza. There's a Yakuza and the Hand are having kind of a gang war type thing. Wolverine, of course, gets tied up in the middle. So
what a great comic, too, and a lot of action.
Yeah, double-sized, I believe, and lots of action and different artists, all of whom are very good. And they're, despite the fact that they are different artists, it always feels pretty streamlined throughout. So
absolutely. Cool. And then we've got Lobster Johnson.
The Burning Hand, number 1. This is, of course, set in the Hellboy universe, but this is set back in 1932. Sort of a pulp-style comic, pulp noir kind of. You've got sort of the fast-talking journalists and guys that look like in their fedoras and that sort of thing. So it's old-fashioned, but very cool. I really like the artist Tansy Zonjic, who has done some other cool stuff, and I really like his work here as well. So I would say, hey, check it out, especially if you're into pulp noir type comics.
Cool. And then we've got Scarlet Spider, number 1.
That's right. Those of you who've been reading comics for a long time know about Kane was an imperfect clone of Peter Parker, and he was out during the Clone Saga, and he showed up again in Spider Island. But even if you don't know any of that, you can come in pretty clear here and say, okay, Kane has fled New York City. Here's this guy with Spider-Man-like powers, and he's left New York City trying to find his own way. Will he choose, good? Will he go towards evil? Where will he end up? He heads towards Houston, Texas, actually, and gets in the midst of some crime there. Right. It was a very good issue.
Cool. So what's your pick?
I wouldn't feel too bad picking any of them, but I'll go with Scarlet Spider.
Cool.
All right, so hey, come back next week for more comic book and movie news. For Kyle Roberts, I'm Matt Price. Thanks for watching.